everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. I'm channeling my inner Gina K designs. Today's card project is all inspired by my friend Gina K. I'm going to use some really fun stamps from her recent release, and I'm going to do a very Gina K technique, which is wood graining my cardstock. I love how it turned out, so if you want to see that project, stick around. It's coming up next. Next, I don't have my nails painted. Don't tell anyone. They're painted in the video, but I chipped one and had to take it off. It's a long story. Let's get to the card. Namaste. So here's a look at the stamps I'm going to be creating with today. These are called Happy Hens. I think these little hens are just so stinking cute because they're very graphic, right? Anytime you have a pattern inside something and then you've got little silhouette chickies, little eggs, little group of eggs, and then very cute little greetings. So lots of all-purpose greetings, and then little punny things. Just chicken in, shake your tail feathers. Welcome to the hen house. We're so glad you're here. You may be an old hen, but you still look like a spring chicken. Okay, so see, you are truly exceptional. You're an awesome mother hen. So you got your cheeky little sentiments, but we're going to do some kind of clean and simple thing with the hens. I also have the coordinating dies. So there are a pack of dies that you can purchase that cut out, well, let's dump it out here, cut out all the things in the stamp set. So that's kind of fun too, especially for the little chickens. So those are the basics. I've got some Gina K cardstock and a few other things. So let's get started with stamping. So now I've got my piece of cardstock. This is Gina K heavy base weight. And what I'm going to do is start taking some chickens off. Gonna pick my chickens. All right, I'm gonna put a chicken there. I wanna make sure that I have plenty of room for die cutting, right? So I don't know if I'm gonna squeeze these too close. Probably not, because I wanna get clearance for inking up my stamps. Let's see here. How about that little friend? So they can fit in there pretty well. I don't know about doing any eggs. I have an idea for eggs. Well, you know what? Let me stamp the chickens first. I'm getting ahead of myself. Wait, I'm making my chickens before the eggs. I have no idea what the phrase is. You're gonna have to help me out. Okay, brand new stamps. So I'm going to prime them a little with this little tool that I've been playing with. It's called, this is a little Debby primer. Oh, look, there's a sequin. I'll save that for later. And it's got leather on the back. And all this does is it takes that coating off your stamps. When photopolymer stamps arrive, they have a coating. And until that coating has kind of worked its way off, you might not get as solid an impression as you expect. So, of course, these stamps stamp better and better over time, photopolymer in general, as they get more conditioned. Even if they get stained, they clean off beautifully and stamp like a dream. But priming them helps, and that tool is kind of neat. I will, of course, have all the supplies linked below, but I'm going to start just with Dusty Rose. I really ink that up. I'm probably going to stamp it a couple times. We're pressed into the corner. All right, want to make sure that is happening. Bring this down and grab my other tool and press. Beautiful. Lift. Of course, if your paper comes up, just reposition it, because that's the key to the MISTI, is making sure that you have that paper in the exact place. Oh, I think I just got some on here. Hold on. We're getting a little crazy. All right, there. One at a time. Now I may have to bring out a Post-it note. Let's try this. All right. Pressed in and bring it down. All right. And that is chicken number, very sticky. Chicken number 1. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. I'm going to clean chicken number 1 off. And actually, you know what? I can just take it off. That's actually going to save me time. We're going to go to, do I want to have the little one pecking down? I think that is my third one. So if we're going pink, orange is this one. This little friend is going to be yellow, and this is wild dandelion. So again, I'm just doing one chicken at a time. I will put my magnet there. We are pressed into the corner. Oh, well, I guess we pressed it into the wrong corner. How about that? There we go. And transfer the ink. Lift. And it's very, very sticky to the new stamps. All right. I'm going to do it one more time. Again, just make sure you're pressed right into that corner so you don't get a double stamped image that isn't perfectly aligned. And stamp. Great. All right, clean this off and take off that little friend, and we'll go with our orange. So I'm working a little bit out of the order of the rainbow, but I use this palette a lot because I love it. I love pink, I love orange, and I love yellow together. And I think when you have a palette that you love and you go back to it time and again, that's great. You don't have to reinvent your favorite color palette wheel, just have fun. Use the colors that make you happy. All right. Bringing this in, lined up, and voila. We have 3 chickens. They're just so cute. They're just so cute. I'm not going to think about eggs yet. I don't have the bandwidth right now because I want to think about chickens, and I might add eggs after the fact. So I'm doing the chicken before the eggs. Let's grab the dies and cut these out. I've got all the dies in place, taped them down so they wouldn't slip. And here, I'll just cut them out using my Platinum 6 die cut machine. Run that through. Oh, my whole table's shaking. Oh, someday, I'm telling you, I'm going to have a new table. I'm going to have a whole new area to craft if I have my way. But we don't know if we have our way yet. Okay, let's pop these out. Oh, looks like my chicken has a little hat. Look at that. It totally looks like chicken hat. Okay, I'll take that off. It's just the low tack tape, and it comes off very easily and does not do any harm to the friends. Well, it's stuck to me now. But here we have, if we go in order, pink, orange, and yellow. Maybe I was off a little on the die cut in the yellow, but the chicks are ready. The chicks are ready to roll. All right, let's move on. While I have my die cut machine out, I am going to take one of my Master Layouts dies. And, well, here's what I'm not sure, though, because I wanted to try something that I have not often done. I want to try wood graining today because I have seen Gina do it in so many videos. Gina K, designer and creator of so many wonderful products. And I have the color that she uses. So I looked through my stash and I was like, yes, I have soft stone. So I'm going to cut a panel first before I do the scoring and the wood graining. Okay, let's do it. Cut this down. And this is from Master Layouts 1. So what this does, it cuts one panel, and then you can use the other coordinating die to do another panel that's just like, I feel like it's like a 1/16 of an inch smaller. So you get that lovely shadow layer matte if you want it. I don't know if I'm going to use that today, but now I have this. So let's do the Gina way. I'm just going to do a 1/2 inch at a time. Let's give myself a little more room here and go. There's 1 inch or 1/2 inch. 1, 2, 1/2 inch. Let's do another 1/2 inch. Feeling very fancy right now. 1/2 inch. I think this will fit. I don't know. 1/2 inch. And here's the cool thing. If you feel yourself not being able to do that whole pattern, you can just flip it and go 1/2 inch. Well, maybe it's not going to be perfectly lined up with the 1/2 inches, but you know what? It's going to work. Well, you can't see anything. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to take my pad and try to do what Gina does. This is soft stone, and I'm just going to, wish me luck, I'm just going to drag it over the paper like that. It's going to have a little, you know, little marks here and there. My pad's pretty juicy. So I don't know exactly if I'm getting this quite the same way Gina does, but that's kind of cool, right? That does look like wood grain. Look at that. I love it. Look at me. So funky. All right, I'm going to let that dry. I need to, yeah, this is a really juicy pad. I'm going to set this aside for a second while I think about my grading and which one I want to use. So I have an idea. Don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a try. I am going to stamp a tiny little Hey Chick onto some white Gina K cardstock. So let me get this set up. So I've got a little piece of cardstock here, and I'm just gonna powder it up with my little embossing anti-static tool, right? And I've got my Versamark pad here, and I'm gonna stamp this little Hey Chick just to have a little greeting. Now, I don't know if what I'm gonna do is going to work. I think it will. If it doesn't, we're gonna try something else, but let's give it a try. I'm just gonna give this a gentle press, not too hard, just enough to transfer the ink. I don't think I need to double stamp this, because I think that is going to be just fine. So let's add some powder. Also, isn't this a cute little, you know, I use a clothespin because Gina does, and this lovely woman on the internet who runs a company called, I think it's called Refined, sent me a couple of these. One says hot stuff, right? And I love these for embossing. So I'll be sure to include at least her Instagram. She doesn't really have a shop per se, but you can definitely get in touch with her, and I'll put that contact on below. So Gina K Designs Fine Detail White, sprinkle like that. Just let that sit for a second. Oh, that looks really good. I don't know if I need a second coating here, but I think we're good to go. All right, see how nice that is? Hey, chick. All right, we'll funnel our powder back in. That's all I do. Folded piece of paper. Like that. Okay. Well, it looks really good. If you ever have any extra powder, you can just brush it away with a little dry brush. But let's melt this powder. All right. Hey, chick. So now it's nice and shiny, right? And it's going to resist our ink that I'm going to ink blend over the top. So let's grab our little mat back. I am using the Tim Holtz pad, or the media grip. Here, check this out. Sitting that there. Didn't even do this on the first one. And you can just put your pad down and it holds your pad into place. Isn't that fun? So all I'm going to do, and you know what? I don't even think I need to stick that down. So we're just, well, I mean, unless it would hold it. Let's see. No, we're good. I'm having some issues today. There we go. There we go. All right. I don't think it's going to stick because it's, what do you call it? It's a little warped. Here's what I want to do. This is a brush that actually isn't assigned for anything. I had used it for something that was yellow. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to load it up with this color, because I'm just, and I don't, yeah, it's not going to bring any of the grain. I'm just going to ink blend a matching gray color over this piece, because once it dries back, this is going to match perfectly with the wood graining. Does that make sense? Yes. See how smart that is? So going like that. Hey, chick. But then I'm going to die cut it as soon as it's completely dried, and I'll take my little cloth, just wipe over it, and that way any of the ink that pools on top, it is going to come right off, and I'm going to be able to cut this out. I'm going to use one of my Gina K Designs sentiment strip dies. I think this is the length that I want. I love this little set, and I'll just put this into place like that, right? Get it lined up. Hey, chick, that looks pretty good. And I'm going to run this through my die cut machine really quick off camera, because well, I am going to tape it in place on both places, because if there's one thing I learned, you think something's lined up sometimes and then it's not, and then you're like, "Urgh." All right, I'm going to cut this out. I think I'm going to trim off just a little more from side to side, just because I don't want it to look, I don't want that extra space. I kind of just want half that space. And that's where I'll bring in my little tiny Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer for these little tiny strip cuts. Like that. That's better. I just kind of, I don't want extra where it doesn't need to be. So there's my Hey Chick. I've got foam tape on the back of my wood grained panel. Get this off here. Right? Actually, I don't think I got that on perfectly, but we're going to go for it. Sometimes you don't line things up perfectly, and that's okay. That's okay. You're going to be okay, Kath. Oh, I tell you, it's just paper. But check it out. So I want to have a little arrangement. At first, I thought I was going to have all of them kind of pecking along in the same thing, but I think instead, and I don't want to make it look too much like it's coming out of his boot, but you know, I kind of want to just do this. So this guy's flat down, picking at the ground. There's dimension, and then we're going to put our little Hey Chick right in there. So I don't know if I'm going to pop up Hey Chick or not. I actually might do it on thin foam squares. I always feel like there's a time and a place for different levels of dimension. This is most definitely an example. All right, so a little bit of tape runner here, and I'm also going to get some of my Gina K Connect glue. We'll talk about that in just a second. But let's see, maybe you're coming up a little more so that the side is really sort of, you know, he's just going to kind of be like that. So there's a little connection between each chicken. It's so funny. They're so cute. And then we'll come in with, Hey Chick. So I think I should place down the orange chicken first, just so we have that placement. So let's take this little chickie out, right? Just do a little tape. Do a little on the feet too. I don't think I need any on the tail. And then, so just slide that in right about there. Okay, looks good. Hey Chick. Okay, then let's take the foam squares off this. Now, I didn't put them on this chicken's feet because I thought, well, I think it's going to be fine. But I am going to put some liquid glue on this so that I can see. So I have my Gina K bottles here, and someone sent me a little pin topper. And it's so cute because it has all these beads on it. It's very delicate. Again, this was something sent to me as a little gift. And I can drop her contact info in below the video as well. You know, you never know. The topper that Gina has works great too. Someone sent me that and I thought I should try it out. So now I'm going to put my little beads of glue right on the foam squares, just for a little wiggle room before I completely commit to where my chicken is going. And I do want that chicken to overlap a little bit, right? I want there to be a connection right there, right? I want that slight overlap. Okay. And see, I don't know if I could add eggs in, but this is kind of how I work. Like sometimes I err on the side of simplicity. And so what if I just did a little guy there? So there's just a little connection between the chickens. It's fun. I think it's very cute. Okay. Taking this off, did my wood graining. Who am I? I'm Gina. Like I said, channeling my inner Gina K today with the wood grain. Now, hopefully I'll get this lined up. Let's see. Should be pretty easy. And yeah, just so you know, I always wipe off my little toppers, but then since I took the little topper off, then I just put a pin in it like that. It looks pretty in my craft room, and well, there you go. But I think I put this how am I going to do this? Let's go like that. And so, Hey Chick, I still want this. Do I want it to be tucked? Do I want there to be more of a connection? Like, what if Hey Chick was right there on the feet? You know what? I wasn't thinking about that initially, but I actually kind of like that, where it's coming out of his foot. See that? And actually, it looks like that's coming out of his boot too. But you know what? They're chickens. They lay eggs. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really cute. And you know what we got to do? We got to add some shine. So let's get out my favorite of favorite, the Majestic Confetti from Studio Katia. So let's go for it. Let's go. We're going to take some bigger ones, maybe in the middle, right? Because that's where I have a little bit of, how does one sit? Maybe a little blank space, a little trapped space. Well, that's trapped space right there, but I think that's perfectly fine. Going to come in here like that. Okay. Just have a few. And then I'll take mid-size one up here like that. Look for a baby up there. And then come down here, another mid-sized one here, and a baby. You know, sometimes it's just kind of like a gut feel, right? Like I think, oh, that looks nice. Someone actually asked me, they said, they left me a comment and said, Cathy, why sequins? Is it because they're cheap? I don't like sequins. Do I have to use them? It's like, oh my gosh, no, you do not. For example, we're going to place them now. When I was a scrapbooker, I hated dimension on my layouts. Really hated it. And I'll hold on a second here. Boop. Look at that. Because it made my album pages too bulky. And of that, I was not a fan of. Boop. But on a card project, and here's my philosophy about cards. You make one, boop, you have a blast making it, right? You're so happy with what you did. And then, hold on, boop. And then you got to let it go. Don't worry about the end if the person you send it to is going to keep it for all time. They may not. They might, but they might not. So why not put all the lift and glamour into it that you're feeling? Because, you know, it's an impact thing, right? They're going to open it up. They're going to see the shine. They're going to see the popped up chickens. Boop. Hopefully, if the chickens make it through the mail. But you know what I mean? I focus more on the creative process, how much fun I have when I make it, and then how fun it is to send a handmade card to someone and write a greeting on the inside, right? So don't get so hung up on what happens at the end. But isn't that fun? Hey, chick. I'm serious, Gina. I have channeled you. I mean, to some extent. I could have put a thin black mat on, and that would have really brought it home. But I've only done wood graining a few times, and I love using the same color ink and the reverse to create a perfectly matched sentiment strip. So that's the finished card. Thanks so much for watching today. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video below in the YouTube description box. I will see you back here with another card project soon. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.